Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk about whether you can use a sale of a home or indeed a business to fund your retirement. Now you can in certain situations, I have seen people do this, but realistically it isn't a very good idea. It's a high risk strategy. I mean, a lot of people get to 40, 45, 50, 55, especially high income people who are not saving much towards retirement or investing much. And they think, oh well, I can use my home, downsize my home or sell my business in retirement. There's a number of problems with this though. Number one, these are not liquid assets. In other words, if you've got a $500,000 home, you're not going to find a buyer for that in 2 months, in 6 months, in a year. So if you get sick, how are you going to find a buyer? Yes, your family might help or whatever, but it can actually take years to find a buyer for some homes, especially in emerging markets when I've seen expats living overseas. It can take, I've even seen people never find a buyer. So you can't guarantee you'll get a buyer, especially at the price you want to have. In comparison, if you have a liquid stock and bond portfolio, you know you can sell and buy within minutes, and that means you can have the money within 1 or 2 days. Number two, of course, the 4% rule, as we discussed before, and as the article below shows, it's more tried and tested. You know, look, it's not perfect. Some academics say it should be the 3.5% rule. I would say the 4.5% rule, but it is tried and tested rule. Whereas a property or indeed a business, it's by no means tried and tested. Now, number three, when it gets to bigger figures, it's going to get harder and harder to actually find a buyer. Now, if you've got a small side business which is quite profitable and you just want $20,000 for it, you know what, you'll probably find a buyer, but it's not very much money, right? But let's say now you have a multi-million dollar business. Now, how many people have that kind of money, and how many of those people want to buy a small business or a medium-sized business? So the more money you have tied up in these illiquid assets, the harder it is to find a buyer. And that's especially the case when it comes to the fourth point. And that's that if the business is tied to your, say, personal brand or indeed your skills as a small business owner, a lot of people will look at that and say, well, hold on, if this person is going to retire, how am I going to make this business profitable? If most of the revenue is based on, this person's personality or their skills or whatever, how realistic is it that I can actually buy this business and make it profitable? But then it also comes to the point where your personal brand might actually be only adding revenue if you keep your health. But if you suddenly have a heart attack or a stroke one day, suddenly your $2 million business might essentially be worthless. I know this is extreme talk, but I've seen it happen many, many times. You've got to, plan for the best, or should we say, hope for the best, but plan for the worst sometimes. So I think the thing is, when it comes to businesses and indeed houses, they should be used for their purpose. Now, it's always better to use a home as a home, a business as a business, and investments as investments. So when it comes to pensions and wanting fixed income investments, you should use investments for that, not hoping that you can sell certain assets to fund that retirement. Okay, everyone, I hope that was useful.